This is session 4 of the training tapes. And on this session, we'll again start off with some of our relaxation procedures. Get yourself as comfortable as you possibly can. Take a deep breath. Feel the air going in and out of your lungs. Finding yourself feeling very relaxed, very comfortable. Letting yourself drift. Going into a deeper state of relaxation. Your breathing's becoming deep and regular, becoming more and more relaxed. Now, we'll briefly, to create an even deeper state of relaxation, go quickly over 2 or 3 muscle groups in order to let you experience an even more relaxed state. Why don't we start off this time by, when I give you the signal, tensing your neck muscles. When I give you the signal, kind of scrunch your head down on your neck and tighten up all the muscles around your neck. Go ahead and tighten up all the muscles in your neck. That's it. Tight. Okay, relax. Just let those muscles relax. Notice the difference in those muscles. Becoming very relaxed. Your head feels like it's just floating, riding, no strain, just a very light amount of muscle will keep your head up. Each muscle you relax relaxes your whole body just a little bit more. Now let's move down to the chest and back area. Why don't you go ahead and tighten up your whole chest and back area all at once. Feel the pull, pressure. That's it. Okay, just let it go. Relax, let the air out. It's leaving your body. Very pleasant, relaxed feeling comes over your whole body. Going deeper, deeper into a completely relaxed state. More and more relaxed. Every breath you take makes your whole body feel even more relaxed. Now, let's do your whole right arm, your right hand and your whole right arm. Tighten it up, that's it. Hold it. Notice the tension is tight, tight. Okay, let it go, relax. The tension is flowing out of your whole right arm, your right hand. No tension whatsoever. It's almost as though the tension is just slipping out through your fingertips. Your right arm may feel just a tiny bit numb. It's so completely relaxed. Just a tiny bit numb, but very relaxed. Very pleasant feeling. Your whole body relaxes with each muscle that you relax. Now let's do your whole left arm and left hand. That's it. Tighten it up. Make the fist out of your left hand tight. Hold it. Notice the tension. Okay, let it go. Just relax, relax. The whole body now is relaxing. Every muscle in your body is relaxing. Going deeper, deeper into a completely relaxed state. More and more relaxed. More and more relaxed. Now, we're going to have you begin imagining a scene. Empty your mind if you can, and listen very carefully, and try to picture each part of this scene. Picture it just as though you were involved in this scene right now, just as though it were going on, feeling yourself through each part of it. Something happened that bothered you. Perhaps it was at work or at home. Maybe you were just bored. But you headed down the street, this vague feeling of discontent, a little bit of anger, perhaps some loneliness, boredom. You don't know what it was. Just an uneasy feeling. But you know, well, the friends that you can meet in the bar, they're easy to meet, easy to make friends. You can forget about them the next day. And sometimes you feel like you don't want any attachments. People have said it's good to have attachments, but sometimes you kind of wonder. So, about 100 yards away from the bar, walking toward it, you can hear the music coming out of the bar. Kind of a loud piano sound. Gets louder as you get closer. The signs blinking in the bar windows. As you get a little closer yet, you can hear people laughing, giggling in the background. Now you're walking in the door. The lights are kind of dim, your eyes have to get adjusted slightly to the light. Go up to your usual place at the bar. Decide to have a drink. You order one. You always want to get that first one down real fast for some reason. You seem to already feel better. You're thinking, gee, I'm feeling better already. If one's good, two's better. So before you know it, you've got another one in your hand. You're drinking it down. And then it just becomes sort of a blur. Seems to be hitting you faster than usual. The voices get louder. The music seems to get louder. You vaguely remember talking to somebody. You don't remember what it was about. You remember being real anxious, nervous, uptight about something, and later you remember something about being very friendly with somebody, saying all kinds of things to somebody, how nice they were, things that you sometimes feel that you're probably afraid to say when you haven't been drinking. And then the whole thing seems to fade. Now you're waking up. You're waking up. You find yourself lying down, just waking up from a groggy sleep. You must have been drinking for a long time. You don't remember what happened. It's just vague. You're afraid to open your eyes. Your head is pounding, throbbing. It's very painful. Your whole body's aching. You seem to feel bruises. You don't know whether you fell down, got into a fight, got robbed. Your leg seems to have some kind of throbbing sensation. And then, over and above the bruises in your throbbing head, you notice something itching, something around your crotch itching. in your pubic hair. You scratch it, it still itches. You decide that it's time to open your eyes. You open them, you look around, look at the ceiling first. You see plaster peeling off the ceiling. You wonder, what kind of dump am I in? Look down at the floor on the side, the bed, and there's 3 or 4 bottles laying around on the floor, empty. You wonder, what kind of party did I have in this dump last night? The place still stinks of booze. And your back hurts. This horrible bed that you've been laying in, it's one of those beds that springs are all broken, sags in the middle. And then you become aware of something next to you. The booze smell permeates, reeks. You smell this very powerful odor of stale whiskey. You painfully rise on one elbow with your head throbbing and discover a big, fat, slovenly, ugly woman naked in bed next to you. You're both naked. She's snoring loudly. The booze that just comes out of her, stale booze coming out of her mouth. Her mouth hangs open and her breath smells foul. Her teeth are partly decayed. Ugly makeup is smeared over her face. Looks like it ran through a meat grinder. She's so big and fat, the bed sags, and you've been lying next to her with the sweat where you touch running off your bodies. It starts to come back to you. All this talk of love that you had been talking about last night when you were drinking. You're horrified, shocked. This is the ugliest woman you can ever remember. You're aware of the itching again. You look down at your crotch and at her crotch. You see hundreds of little body lice climbing up and down the hairs, crawling all around the genital area. It's the crabs. It's horrible. You can't remember anything except drinking. The smell of booze is still in the air. You leap out of bed, shocked, grab for your pants. She wakes up and smiles. Jagged tooth smile. She says, "You can't leave, dearie. We got married last night. Don't you remember?" And the scene fades. Okay, now let your whole body relax. Just go into a state of deep, complete relaxation. Letting the tension fade, going deeper, deeper into a more relaxed state. As you relax, you're thinking about various muscle groups to relax. You're thinking arm, relax. You're checking your arm in your mind. It's relaxed. Breathing, deep, regular, completely relaxed. Legs, completely relaxed, no tension anywhere. Neck, relaxed. Feet, relaxed. And your stomach, completely relaxed. Air is moving in and out gently. And now, in order to let you practice relaxing, I'm going to pause for a few moments, and you continue giving yourself relaxation messages. You continue telling yourself to relax during the next pause. You're completely relaxed now. Now imagine the following scenes just as though they were happening right now. Feel yourself into the situation as deeply as you can. This time, you've been at home drinking for some time, and you do one of the favorite things that people who've been drinking alone for quite a while, who can't quite get out but they need another bottle. Called a cab. Been sitting there for a couple hours without a drink, waiting for them to come back. They bring it back, knock at the door, go to the door, pay them the money, you give them a $5 tip. You're just so glad to get the booze, you're unsteady on your feet. Rush in, your hands are shaking, pouring it into a glass, drinking it down. Before you know it, you've got half of one of the 2/5 you ordered down. You're starting to feel relaxed, starting to feel a little more comfortable. And then that scene fades, and suddenly you're on a dark, lonely, deserted street. You don't know how you got there. All you know is that somehow you've suddenly been quickly transported from your room where you were drinking to this street. You have the feeling that you've got to get home to get to the jug. You feel that you must have some booze waiting there for you. Walking along, there's just passing some trees, empty houses. Off in the distance you hear a police siren wailing in the night. You speed up your pace of walking. The siren sound strikes terror in your heart, even if it isn't for you. It makes you kind of frightened. It's an eerie sound to hear in the middle of the night. You walk faster, you hear footsteps in back of you about 100 yards. You begin walking faster still. The footsteps speed up. You start running. You feel like you're running for your life down this empty, deserted street. And then you notice that as you run, something seems to slow you down a little bit. In your coat pocket, you've got a bottle that kind of bangs against your leg as you run. Kind of bangs up against your body each step. Now it begins to come back to you how you'd gotten this bottle. It seems to slow you down a little. You glance back and see 3 men running toward you, after you. You run faster, faster, trying to get away. But the drinking must have done something to you. You can't seem to run. They're catching up. They're getting closer. You feel yourself kind of stumbling. They're shouting at you, cursing. You hear someone say, "I'm going to get you." You run with all your might. The trees flash by in the dark night. You call out for help, running faster. The bottle hitting up against your trouser leg in your jacket pocket. You think you'll try to stop and pull it out, but you know you can't. Slowing you down, your footsteps it's almost like a bad dream. You just can't seem to get moving. Almost like you're on a treadmill. They're coming up closer and closer. Glance around again and you see they all have knives. They're almost up with you. You scream for help. There's no answer. You're exhausted. Your lungs are burning. The air just jerks in and out of your burning throat. You're terrified. Then you stumble and fall. They're up with you. They jump on you. You feel the knives being pushed into you, into your stomach, into your neck. And one of the last things you remember is the bottle of booze which broke as you were falling down. The last thing you smell is the booze hitting your nose. The last thing you hear is they're laughing and behind you as you're choking on your own blood. Then there's blackness. All right, now let yourself relax again. Take a deep breath. That's it. Take a deep breath. Just relax completely. All the tension's going out of your body, going deeper, deeper, into a completely relaxed state. Deeper, deeper still. Becoming more and more relaxed. You've learned how to relax your body now very rapidly. You've learned that a large variety and number of situations can be handled by simply telling yourself, unwind, relax, no use getting uptight. The magic word relax. Even after such a scene as you just went through, find you can very quickly have every muscle in your body relax, feeling comfortable. You're finding that you can move in and out of anxiety situations much better. Before we start the next section, I'm going to let you continue giving yourself relaxation messages for a few moments. Continue telling yourself to relax deeper and deeper. Go ahead. Alright, you're still completely relaxed. And you'll remain relaxed during these next scenes. We're going to begin something new at this point, and we will have on this and the following tapes some experiences like we're going to do now, plus some of the other scenes that you have had before. But to give a little introduction, one of the problems people often have, particularly the person who drinks, is being hurt easily. People get their feelings hurt. Another problem is defending yourself when you're criticized. A certain amount of criticism can help us improve, but some people get carried away with criticism. It's almost as though they are criticizing to tear people down rather than to be constructive with their criticism. And a certain amount of criticism can help us improve. But we're going to practice remaining completely relaxed while being criticized excessively. Then we will practice some ways of handling criticism without either confessing or defending ourselves. Often the best thing to do when being criticized is to say to the other person, "What makes you so angry today?" That is, looking at what they're doing rather than trying to answer their criticisms. Very often answering their criticisms with a defense encourages the other person to criticize more. It's kind of like they've got you on the run, so they make the best of it. Alright, now take a deep breath. Allow yourself to go even deeper into a state of complete relaxation. And you will remain completely relaxed during all the scenes that will follow. You will experience these scenes in great detail. You will feel like you are actually there, actually going through the criticism experience, but not reacting as you ordinarily would. You will be reacting differently. You may feel vaguely uneasy, some guilt from time to time, but when you do, you will simply relax yourself a little deeper. Now imagine yourself sitting in your favorite chair at home. You got the mental image, look around the room, see some of the familiar objects. Get a picture of yourself sitting in that chair. You're relaxed, thinking about the work you plan to do the next day. Now, the most important woman in your life comes into the room. It can be your wife, your ex-wife, your mother, your girlfriend, someone you have been very close to, some female. Because the male alcoholic sometimes has been known, like a lot of people, to have problems with women and sensitive to their criticisms. Pick the woman most suitable for you to play this critical role. Alright, she's standing there. She seems angry today, just the way she sits down and stares at you. You feel she hasn't had a good day for some reason. She seems spoiling for a fight. She's angry about something. She begins talking. You can hear her say the following things, just as though you were actually there listening to her. She starts talking about money again. She's saying, "Why don't we have the things other people have?" Look at this old furniture. When are we going to have something decent in this house? You find yourself tensing up slightly. Now, take a deep breath. Relax. Relax every muscle in your body. You're tempted to say, "Oh, honey, we'll get it. Don't worry." But instead, you're practicing a new device. You say, "You seem quite angry today." She answers, "Yes, I am angry. When are we going to get some furniture? You should make more money so we can buy the things we need. We don't hardly have enough money for food." You're surprised at yourself because you're still relaxed. You're remaining relaxed. Usually this kind of talk puts you on edge right away. You answer, "I'd be willing to discuss and talk about our budget, our money situation. But when you're so angry, it doesn't seem like you don't let me finish a sentence." This makes her even more angry. She knows that you're right, but she doesn't want to admit it. She wants you to fight back. She doesn't want you to remain calm. She's trying to get you upset. She's trying to get you involved in a fight. But you've decided you're not going to be pushed into defending yourself this time, or your income, because you know you're doing the best you can. She says, "I can't trust cost you money at all, she's still mad. She's looking for an excuse to really let go at you. You blow your whole paycheck on nothing and we have nothing to eat. You know this is not true. But if you tell her this while she's angry, she'll just use it to argue more. You say, still calm, still surprised at yourself because you're so calm. Relax. Relaxation is the key to this. Feeling proud of yourself that you're able to go through this while you're relaxed. Every muscle in your body is relaxed. You say, I think it would be a good idea to discuss our budget, but not while you're so angry. We can't solve anything by fighting. Now, ordinarily, this kind of calm approach, in spite of all of her anger, would have calmed her down, made her realize that you simply weren't going to be budged. But we're going to carry this further and imagine that it didn't calm her down. We're going to give you the practice of relaxing through everything that she can give. She says, the bills aren't paid. We owe money to everybody. I have to just dole out a few dollars a week to you, or you'd spend the whole check. You just can't handle money. You act like a little kid. If you want something, you get it right then, without thinking of anyone else. Now after that, you're surprised that you're still relaxed. Completely relaxed. She's trying to turn you into a child, trying to make you believe you're a failure. And again, you know this is not true. You know that perhaps there's times when she would like you to be a failure because you might be less of a threat to her. Everybody's afraid of a real man, and some people turn their men into something less than a man so that they're less of a threat to them. In other words, you really aren't going to put up a very good fight while you're drunk on the floor. She knows that, and maybe she doesn't really want you drunk on the floor, but you're not the competition for her when you are. She's trying to make you defend yourself, but you know from many experiences this doesn't get anywhere. You're dealing with someone who perhaps early in her own life she didn't get what she thought was coming to her. Maybe she feels deprived, left out. She feels empty, perhaps rejected by her own father. She's trying to explain to herself this gnawing, nagging feeling of emptiness she has some of the times, maybe a lot of the time. That this emptiness is related to disappointments that occurred much before you knew her. Not to you, but since she's close to you now, she just assumes that you're the one who's failing her, whether you are or not. She takes her feelings from the past of being failed and rejected, and somehow the way people distort their own fates, their own past, she somehow thinks it's happening to her right now. You're still relaxed, thinking about this. You feel close to her, but yet, right now you feel at a safe distance. You're close and yet distant. You're watching her, watching yourself, like a scene, and yet you're in the scene, but having a calm objectivity, relaxed attitude that you perhaps never experienced before. If she can get you to admit failure, get you to admit you're disappointing her, then these things will be explained to her for a short time. But then she must get you to confess something else, additional failures. The emptiness of her earlier period of being deprived and left out will begin gnawing at her again. She may need to try to make you a failure. She needs to see you as a failure. But you don't have to play this role for her, because you also know what's good for you. You're still relaxed. You're surprised at this. You say, "You're trying to make me out like a failure. You're really angry about the rejections you got from somebody else, someplace else, not me. You're disappointed. You'd like to go on as you talk to her and confess, 'Yes, I have failed.' But you resist this time. You let your whole body relax even more. Take a deep breath. Regain your calm state of mind. It's pleasant to experience this much criticism without reacting to it with fear, anger, this unpleasant feeling. You've always been afraid of other people's anger, and now you realize that maybe they're angry for something else, but they have to look for something to explain it. It seems directed at you, her anger, but it's really directed at the people out of her past who disappointed her, not really at you. She expects you to fail. She seems to need you to fail, but you need to no longer fill her wishes. You tell her, "You are accusing me of failing so much. I know that I've disappointed you in the past, but no one's perfect. But you spend all your time talking about your disappointments, never talking about the good things that we've done together. Why do you seem to need to focus on failure, the bad times? Would it help you explain things better if I did fail?" You're surprised how you've remained relaxed during this whole sequence, where she has been very angry, very upset, spoiling for a fight. She used to be able to get you angry and afraid because you would defend all the time, try to answer all her criticisms. Each one you answered followed by another. Now you can focus on the fact, not on what she is criticizing, but on the fact that she is being critical, that she seems to want to fight. You find yourself able to focus on what she's doing or trying to do to you, rather than defending against what she is saying. Now by this time, in the average situation, she would have been pretty well calmed down. It's hard to fight against that much logic and reasoning. But again, for practice purposes, we're going to have her go on even more for you to practice relaxing through the worst she can give. And she's picked her favorite thing, your drinking, since nothing else has succeeded in getting under your skin, getting a response from you. You've remained relaxed and calm throughout. "You lousy drunk," she starts. "Of course I have rejected you. Don't want anything to do with you. Remember those times you smelled like stale sweat and vomit, hadn't shaved for days? You are a bum, a drunken wash." That's a pretty harsh one. You take a deep breath, relax again. Relax completely. You haven't had a drink for quite a while. You know it. She knows it. So why would she bring it up? Well, obviously, she wants you to take a drink. That's the only explanation. She wants you to get drunk, to lie around in a stupor and a daze, just like she described you. Then she can point her finger at you and say, "See, I was right. You are a drunken bum." Forgetting that she just forced you into doing it, setting you up for it. But, you know, this time, you're not going to give her this satisfaction. You used to think that if you stopped drinking, you would be giving in to her. You'd be being bossed around. You want to be man of the house. Now you know that all the time she screamed at you about drinking, quite often she was really pushing you, daring you to take a drink, just as she is right now. You remain in control of the situation by refusing to drink. Her words tell you to stop drinking, but ever since you did, she keeps talking about it, as though she's trying to get you to drink again. You figure that you're not going to give in to her and drink. If she needs somebody weak, passive, drunk, she'll just have to look for another boy. You decide yourself. Because you have yourself to take care of. So you tell her, surprised again to hear yourself saying this, but satisfied, still relaxed, completely relaxed. You'd like me to get drunk and lie around in a daze, wouldn't you? You know I haven't been drinking, but the way you talk about it constantly, I know you'd like to see me drunk again. Then you wouldn't have to deal with a real man. You'd be dealing with a drunk. You had some bad experiences in your life with men, with your father. You found you were less frightened of them when they failed. Because a failure isn't a real man. You don't have to take his feelings into account. He's just a bum. He's a failure. You don't have to be considerate of him. You don't have to do things for him. But I refuse to be a failure for you. I can be a lot of things for you, but not a failure. You're so afraid of being disappointed and rejected, you're trying to push me into rejecting you, or into acting so terrible you'll have a good reason to kick me out. That way, you wouldn't have the fear again. The fear that me, like other men, maybe your father, is going to reject you and leave you alone. You still continue talking to her. The words are flowing easily, and you're remembering the main principle in how to fight the critical woman, focusing on what they're doing, not on defending. You continue talking to her. You're trying to create rejection, you say. Then you sit around and wait for it because you think it's going to happen anyway. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to reject you. I'm not going to give you an excuse to kick me out. You can't stand me as a whole person and need to find a failure. That's your problem. But I won't play failure for you or for anybody else. You feel good about the answer you gave her. You feel like you suddenly understand all the times she has criticized you in the past. You thought all this time she was displeased with you, that some days you did good and some days you did bad. And there may have been some truth to this, but now you realize that she had a past too, that she's bringing this past with her. A lot of it was her own feelings of being unfulfilled, unloved. This doesn't mean that you didn't love her enough. Some people, at certain points, no matter what's going on, still feel empty. Now you know she's fighting her emptiness, the emptiness inside her. But you know now that you can help her fight this emptiness better by proving she is wrong, rather than proving she is right. Proving that she is not going to be disappointed rather than proving what she feels that she is going to be disappointed. You're still calm and relaxed, completely at ease. Continue to remain relaxed. Let yourself relax even more for the next few moments, the last few moments of this tape. This will be the end of session 4. Just let yourself relax.